The Sunday school lesson for May 26, 2024 is Who Has Believed? Romans chapter 10, verses 1 through 17. Welcome, viewers and subscribers, to my channel, The Backstory and More. I am Audrey. If you are new here and you are interested in knowing what happens before each Sunday school lesson, you are at the right place, because I will share the backstory, read the lesson text, and offer a brief lesson summary. The backstory to today's lesson takes us to the book of Romans. So now I am asking you to see my introduction or the backstory to the book of Romans that has been featured on my new channel. Notice the link before. This is a new YouTube channel for me at Sunday School Supplements hyphen 2429. Thank you so much for visiting that channel. Verses 1 through 2. Brothers and sisters, my heart's desire and prayer to God for the Israelites is that they may be saved. For I can testify about them that they are zealous for God, but their zeal is not based on knowledge. Verses 3 through 4. Since they did not know the righteousness of God and sought to establish their own, they did not submit to God's righteousness. Christ is the culmination of the law, so that there may be righteousness for everyone who believes. Verses 5 through 7. Moses writes this about the righteousness that is by the law. The person who does these things will live by them. But the righteousness that is by faith says, do not say in your heart, who will ascend into heaven? That is, to bring Christ down. Or who will descend into the deep? That is, to bring Christ up from the dead. Verses 8 through 9. But what does it say? The word is near you. It is in your mouth and in your heart. That is the message concerning faith that we proclaim. If you declare with your mouth, Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Verses 10 through 11. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. As Scripture says, anyone who believes in him will never be put to shame. Verses 12 through 13. For there is no difference between Jew and Gentile. The same Lord is Lord of all and richly blesses all who call on him. For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. Verses 14 through 15. How then can they call on the one they have not believed in? And how can they believe in the one of whom they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? And how can anyone preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. Verses 16 through 17. But not all the Israelites accepted the good news. For Isaiah says, Lord, who has believed our message? Consequently, faith comes from hearing the message, and the message is heard through the word about Christ. A brief summary. The stumbling stone that caused Jews to reject Christ was the belief that they could obtain righteousness through their own efforts. The irony is that in the attempt to earn righteousness by works, they did not submit to God's righteousness. Recognizing that he was addressing both Jews and Gentiles in the church at Rome, Paul addressed both in turn. To the Jews, he supported his argument with the words of Moses himself. Paul quoted Leviticus chapter 18, verse 5, to demonstrate that to obtain righteousness by law keeping, one must obey every aspect of the law, an impossible task. In an allusion to Deuteronomy chapter 30, verses 12 through 14, Paul argued that to do so would be like moving heaven and earth. Rather, we are called to trust God and believe the word that is near you. That message is the confessing of Jesus before others. Matthew chapter 10, verses 32 through 33. Salvation by faith is the path to God for both Jews and Gentiles. Paul then addressed the latter, explaining his role. Not all the Israelites accepted the good news. That was to be remedied by the beautiful feet of Gentile believers. Usually, the preachers who traveled many miles to convey a message arrived at their destination with dusty, dirty feet. The appearance of their feet was anything but beautiful. The beauty was to be found in the contents of the message delivered. Faithful Gentiles would provoke Israel to believe. Thank you so very much for watching this video, and please continue to help this channel grow one viewer and one subscriber at a time by sharing this video, watching this video, giving me a thumbs up, and giving me comments from time to time. Thank you so much for all that you do to make this channel what it is and what this channel can eventually become. Stay safe and may God bless.